Hey, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Vanessa Petronelli here, coming at you with a new Facebook Live. It's been a few weeks since I have tuned in and have done a little mini training masterclass for you here on Facebook. And tonight's the night. I felt compelled and guided to share something that has been a real theme lately in my own personal life, and I will share a story about that in a moment. Hello to whoever's here. Please say hello, tune in and engage. It's so much more fun for me to know that I'm not alone. Please say hello. So I'm here to share. Hi, Adya. So good to have you here. And also share with you a major theme that's been coming up in my business with my clients. And also in my Soul Aligned Success Sisterhood. So what's that theme? Well, the theme is the fear of putting yourself out there. So if you're joining me, numbers keep going up and down. Say hello and just briefly mention if you're brave enough right now and you're willing to put yourself out there, just like I am in this moment. If you've ever felt this fear before. Hi, Charlene. Good to have you guys here. Hey. So if you've ever felt like you're afraid of putting yourself out there, and that could be in your, hi, Daniel, in your business, okay? It can be in your personal life, in your relationships. It could be in anything. So this is a really universal message. I'm going to cater this a little bit more to those of you who are running companies, businesses, startups. You know, you're in the spiritual world, you're a teacher of some sort, and of course to the artists and the visionaries in the world. Hi, Charlene. Oh, it's nice. I miss you too. It's good to have you here. It's been a while. And thank you, Daniel. Hello. Thank you for saying that I'm sounding very strong. It's great to have you here. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Not a lot of people actually have heard my story. Those of you who've been in my life who are tuning in or will be tuning in later, many of you know my background and where I've come from, but not a lot of people, not a lot of my friends here on Facebook and from around the world know my story and my background. So before I started running my current company, my business, as an intuitive success coach, guiding female influencers and leaders to their highest potentiality. I was doing this, I've been doing this for 8 years, over 8 years, but before that I was in the entertainment industry. And I spent many years in my teens and also in my early 20s as a professional singer. I was in a pop group. This was during the time of Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys. And I was amongst one of, it started off as 7, went down to 5, and then we were 4. Young ladies in this female pop group in my teens, all the way to like probably 19, 20. And I spent years singing. You know, I was on many stages. I worked in the group as a singer, and I also did some solo work in my early 20s. And I did this professionally. I was in recording studios, on stages, I signed autographs, the whole 9 yards. I had a really incredible experience. And I also was a professional model, and I was an actress. I kind of did it all, which was actually part of the problem. I wasn't entirely focused on one thing and just really pursuing that. So I spent a good portion of my teenage years and my 20s in this industry. I had a blast. It was not always easy. And I'll probably delve more into that in future Facebook Lives so we can get to know each other a little bit more and you can hear a little bit more about my background. Hi, Michelle. Good to have you here. So after I left that industry around 23, 24 years old, I kind of hung up my creative side, my artistic side. And truth be told, I'm really an artist at heart. It's part of my blood. It's part of my nature. And everything in my life now is like in a full circle, is coming so beautifully together, you know, from this work that I'm doing to where I've come from. You know, I've been studying a lot of personal development, spirituality for many, many years now, and bridging these worlds together is becoming more and more clear as the days go by. But basically, my love of music, of being on stage, of being on camera. This is great. Facebook Live is so great because it really honors part of my creativity and my ability to engage through this medium. But I put a lot of that aside for many years, and I solely focused on serving clients and teaching yoga for a long time. And singing has always been something that I've in my body and my whole being, I have just absolutely loved and craved to share with the world. My voice, I believe, is one of my gifts to share with the world. If it's through my transmissions and my teachings, as I'm doing now, with clients, with groups, with audiences and speaking engagements, and also through singing. And I'm not going to sing today, guys, so I don't want to create any expectations. Maybe that will come later. Baby steps here. So I put it all on the back burner, and I did that for a long time. I started to pursue guitar and music lessons again, in my 20s while I was running this business, but it was just for fun. It became a hobby. There was an outlet for me. So it's been really brewing inside of me for a while. Since I moved to California almost 2 years ago, I basically haven't been doing any music. I haven't been singing at all. I'm just going to be fully open and honest with all of you. I put that to rest, and I've really been focusing on scaling and growing my company. And I'm saying company now, not business, because I really am building a company. It's really growing rapidly. And this past weekend, I was at this amazing experience here in San Diego. This man named David put on something called Sensorial Day. And it was this incredible event. If you're going to LA, actually, I'm not really doing a promotion for this, but I'm kind of doing an indirect promotion. If you're in LA and you want to know more about this experience, you've got to connect with me, and I can put you in touch with David. This Sensorial Day is just this amazing experience to unplug and just really get connected to your senses, get connected to the people who are in the event, and eat amazing food all day long, drink amazing wine, and in between each course we got to experience a performer, a speaker, a musician of some sort. I mean, it was just so awesome. And hi, Henry. I'll answer all of your messages in just a moment, guys, your comments. So I went on Sunday having no expectation and arrived at this amazing event. And toward the end of the day, there was a gentleman who brought a guitar and has been performing professionally. He's been studying music for a little while. He's now a full-time musician. And I felt, while I was in this experience, that there, I was witnessing all these artists, I was witnessing these singers, these performers, doing what they did best. I was just a participant that day and just enjoying the whole day to myself, just really taking it in. I could feel inside of my heart and my chest a very unexpressed part of me. And this part of me really longed to be able to have the courage again to stand up in front of this group of people, or people in general, and share my voice. And so I sat with it, and I just, allowed myself to feel what I was experiencing in that moment. And then this opportune time came. It's so funny when we are really on a quest to access more aspects of ourselves. What tends to happen is God, the universe, starts to bring all kinds of experiences for us to step into that. And this is where the fear of putting yourself out there actually really comes into play. Hi, Bonnie. Nice to have you here. So, not to make this too long of a story, because I do want to get to some of the teaching in this, I sat there, and when this gentleman came up with his guitar and started performing, he offered the opportunity for somebody in the group. He felt like somebody in the group wanted to stand up and share their voice. And now I was standing there, you can imagine, my hands were kind of like a little shaky. I just intuitively knew I was going to be called upon. And of course, my beloved, my partner, who wholeheartedly supports me in sharing more of my voice and my vocal capabilities with people, pointed at me. And I kind of got some other fingers pointing at me too, that they didn't know that I could sing. So I had a moment, okay? And I mean, I'm imagining that some of you really can understand where I'm coming from. Like, there's this moment in our lives, in our relationships, in our careers, in our businesses, in our visionary endeavors, where we have the opportunity to sit back and continue to say no and I'll pass, and I'm afraid to put myself out there and be vulnerable, be seen, be seen for who I am, be heard for who I am, and not share my gifts that I know deep down in my whole heart and soul I'm here to share. I'm built to share these gifts with others. Or we have the other option of making the choice and saying, hell yes, I'm going to put myself out there, whether this works or it doesn't, whether I fail or I make mistakes, or in this moment for me it was like whether I sound like shit, pardon my French, and everybody hates my voice, I'm going to do it. And so that moment, there was a very quick choice that I had to make. It was either I sit back and allow this unexpressed part of me to continue to be unexpressed, or I actually put myself out there and I just share my voice. I let this part of me come out, and it doesn't matter how it sounds, what people think of it, I just do it. And it was so vulnerable for me to do this and to share this. And I did it. So I got up, and for the next 10 minutes, I swear, it felt like I wasn't even in my body. There was this other part of me that just took complete control over me, and I sang my heart and soul out. I sang to 25 people. Some of those people I knew in the room, a lot of them I didn't, and I just gave it my all. I didn't have a song prepared. I ad-libbed, I improvised. I just let my voice be shared with that room. And I sat down in my chair after, and I was crying, and I felt so seen, I felt so tender. And it didn't even matter what other people were thinking of the experience. I was just relishing and being in the moment of allowing this part of me to be out in the room, to be shared. And I felt a ton of fear coming up. I felt like I was ripped wide open and everybody could see me. You know, there was a little bit of like a vulnerability hangover, as Brene Brown calls it. And I just sat there and allowed myself to feel the love in the room and the appreciation from everyone around me for having the courage to do what I did. And that was the experience. And afterwards I was blown away by how many people actually came up to me and spoke to me about the impact that me doing that had on them and my voice, and that I should share this more. And I was actually kind of floored, to be honest with you, because my voice has been quite untrained for the last couple years. So I wasn't expecting to receive any, compliments or flattery around this. So I was actually quite taken aback, in all honesty. And it was nice to hear that, but that was not what the experience was for. You see, when we put ourselves out there, it's not about us. It's not always about us. It's about sharing who we are with the world around us. And putting yourself out there, the reason why it's so hard for so many of you who are doing great work in this world, who are up to amazing things and have these gifts, whether it be, artistic gifts, creative gifts, or it's, business gifts, strategy gifts, teaching abilities, something that you're here to share with others. The fear of putting ourselves out there typically is one of those gaps that I find that so many entrepreneurs, business owners, and artists struggle with. There's a gap that is created for a lot of entrepreneurs and artists. And that gap is, here I am on this side. I have something really awesome that I want to share with the world. I know I'm here to do great things. Maybe I'm already doing it, but I want to go to that next level. I want to share more. I want to reach more people. I want to help more people. I really want to be able to share more of who I am and the things that I've learned and my wisdom with more people. There's the gap. And on the other side of that is where everybody is waiting. The rest of the world is waiting for you. You know, on the other side of this gap, taking that leap of putting yourself out there, there lies so much for you. It's really the territory of the unknown, but there's more on the other side that becomes available for you. And what I really believe distinguishes from like entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs and wannabe artists, and I don't mean to sound judgmental when I say that, is being able to fill this gap, even though you are freaking scared as hell to put yourself out there. I was scared as hell to put myself out there on Sunday, and I did it anyways. I am nervous every time I come and do a Facebook Live. I have no idea who's going to tune in, if people are going to think this is crap and sign right off, or, oh, next, roll my eyes. There's Vanessa again talking about success. There's Vanessa again preaching about the stuff that she talks about. I have no idea how this is going to land, but I don't care. I honestly don't. I put myself out there because I know that even if I impact one person with something that I have to share, if I impact one person who's tuning in, who gets this video, that it gets shared, or somebody passes it along to a friend, and I speak to their heart and soul, I've done my job. I don't care what the rest of the world has to say. What I do care, though, is about sharing my gifts, sharing what I know God has built me to do in this lifetime, which is to share my gifts, my story, my message, everything with you. I am so devoted to you, humanity, to each of you, and I will be relentless in my pursuit in supporting you to put yourself out there, because each of us has this internal influencer, leader, and change maker that, I always say this, for some it's going to be in their backyards, in their own personal lives, and for others it's going to be on a world scale. But regardless of that, if you don't put yourself out there, no one's going to know what you have to offer. So entrepreneurs and artists, if you don't create and bring your offerings out into the world, if you don't speak up, if you don't talk about this, if you don't share your message, even if it's so polarizing for people and you're afraid that it will trigger them, that they'll get upset, that they will judge you, if people don't know who you are and what you're a stand for, what you're creating, what you have to offer, then you're going to consistently be on this side of the fence. You're going to be looking at that gap in front of you and you're going to be afraid to take that leap. And I see this happening all the damn time. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to see so many talented, gifted men and women out there not taking that leap and putting themselves out there. Because why? They're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of being attacked. They're afraid that it's not going to make a difference for people. They're afraid of failing. They're afraid of success. They're afraid of many things. But that fear can be utilized in such a healthy way. That fear that comes up, the resistance that you feel before moving forward, my friends, is often the very reason why we have to do it. We've got to face that fear and do it anyway. I'm sure you've heard this before. And I'm not trying to be cliche about this, but if you don't take a stand for yourself, nobody else will. If you don't allow yourself to be seen, heard, and fully expressed, then there's not going to be anybody there to know the gifts that you have to offer. And this is not something that you're going to do one time and that fear is going to go away. It's going to come up over and over again. The path to success is like an ascension process. We reach one level and then we're faced to go to the next level. And that next level is going to ask you to be able to become even more of yourself, to be able to share even more of yourself with the world. I'm in this place right now where I really do want to have global impact more and more and more. My work, where I want to put it, this is vulnerable for me to share, is I'm working toward bringing more of my work into the Hollywood sphere. I want to work with actors, with writers, with directors, with models, with performers, singers. I want to work with people in Hollywood. Why? Because I want to help them to get so fully aligned to their highest version of themselves, to higher levels of consciousness, to a higher energetic frequency and vibration, so that when they go out into the world and they're creating projects, they're birthing everything that they're offering, they're sharing themselves, putting themselves out there in the world, that they're helping to shift the consciousnesses of the masses that much faster. So I have to continuously put myself out there. If I don't put myself out there, then all of my entrepreneurs, all of the people that are here supporting me, that are listening to this video, maybe listening to it later, that follow my work, my clients, a lot of these people would never have found me if I didn't put myself out there. And yeah, it's scary and it's vulnerable. And I'm terrified sometimes to do it. But I've had to do it anyway. One of the biggest things I see for a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, and many of you maybe can relate, is really fully putting yourself out there that you're metaphysical, that you have these innate supernatural gifts and abilities that a lot of the world does not fully recognize or see as real. And now more than ever, if you have these gifts, you've got to put it out in a really grounded way for people to experience and to receive from you. Because this is what it's all about. This is not about us. When we are afraid of putting ourselves out there, we make it about us. We make it about ourselves instead of making it about being in service to others. So, how do you overcome this fear of putting yourself out there? I definitely believe, I'm an advocate for this if you've been following my work for a while. Hi, Emma. Nice to have you here. You have got to get in touch with who you are. First of all, you've got to really own your gifts. You've got to own and know who you are and what you're here to offer the world. And yes, the inner work, developing a proper mindset and transforming the ways in which you feel about yourself and how you show up in the world is so vital, okay? It's so vital to overcoming this fear. The other piece is, it's just fear, guys. Like, we make fear mean so much. We really do. And the truth is, it's like we build up so much more in our own minds. Hi, Melanie. We build up so much more fear in our heads about what could happen or what might happen or possibly happen. And I have to be honest with you, most of the time it never does happen. And if it does, we're not even really witness to a lot of that. So really getting in touch with yourself, developing your confidence, really developing and owning your gifts and your abilities that you're here to share with the world. I've always had support, a team of support in the entertainment industry. I've had that, and in running this company that I've been running, I've had support throughout all these years. And I know it's in hiring proper support that's helped me to be able to convey and show up even more in putting myself out there. So have support, hire the right people on your team to guide you, to root you on, to cheer you on, and surround yourself with people who really do support you. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. And that's one of the things, you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in the messages that you're sharing. Nobody else can really believe in you until you absolutely believe in yourself. We can have a lot of people on the sidelines cheering us on, telling us how awesome we are, how amazing we are, how important it is that we get our messages out into the world. But if you don't believe it, then it doesn't matter, because you're still going to be sitting back on this side, right? On this side of the fence, waiting. So stop waiting. Believe in yourself. And the last thing, it's like really tap into what God has built you here to do, to offer to the world. We're all built for something. Hi, Pete. We're all built to offer and share something. I call this in my Soul Aligned Success Sisterhood. When I'm enrolling women and when I bring my women together, I tell all of them, you all have a unique medicine that each of you are here to contribute to the rest of this tribe. You have something that your other sisters are in need of, that are looking for, that are wanting, that can learn from. And same goes for the rest of the world. We all have a medicine, we all have a gift, we all have something to share that the rest of the world needs. And you know what? To be perfectly honest, guys, no matter how prepared you are, no matter what, there's always going to be people who are going to disagree with you, that are going to judge you, that aren't going to like what you're offering or believe in what you do, and that's okay. They're not your people. They're not your tribe. So feel the fear, as Emma's saying, take inspired action anyway. Yeah, and keep showing up. Keep putting yourself out there. Most often, we spend a lot of time busying ourselves, trying to delay ourselves from putting ourselves out there. Here's my permission for you. Give yourself permission, okay? And I'm giving you this permission. Do it. Just do it and put yourself out there. You may be stammering on your words. You may be so afraid when you click that post button on your blog or on your email campaign. You may be so afraid to make that application to sign up to speak in front of a big audience, or, get up on stage and perform, or go to that audition. But here's the thing. The more you think about it, you just keep thinking about it. You've got to do it. And when you do it, you're going to get feedback. And when you get feedback, you can refine your process. Feedback meaning there might be some positive feedback or constructive feedback that people may provide for you. You may get feedback in terms of how you feel about yourself and the things that you need to continue to develop in your skills, in your work, in your messaging, in your visions, in your artistry and creativity. But the truth is, you've just got to do it. I can sit and think about, I have lists of posts and themes for Facebook Lives. And they can just sit there and be lists on a book. in pen and paper. Or I can just stop looking at the list, click on my Facebook app, come to Facebook Live, put myself on there, take a deep breath, do my invocations to invite God and Spirit into all the work that I'm doing, into these teachings, into these mini master classes, and share it with you. And that's what I do. And so I want some of this, my desire is that this just transforms and transmutes right through you and gives you that permission, because more people need what you have to offer. More people are waiting for your gifts. And if they don't know what you have to offer, then no one's going to be there to support you, buy from you, and be on your team, be a part of your tribe. So I know it's real, guys, and you can feel that fear. I know it's hard to put yourself out there in relationships, in our professional lives, in our businesses, in our artistic, capabilities and creativities, and like, this is part of the game, right? This is the game that we're in of life. It's like, this is part of the depth and richness of being human. And it separates, the ordinary from the extraordinary. And I know that you're extraordinary, because all of us are. We just have to believe that and tap into that and pull that out of ourselves and share that with the world. So I'm feeling a little complete on this teaching, this transmission for you. I'm going to scroll through because I think that there's tons of really cool comments here. And usually I slow down, as a lot of you know, on my videos, and I comment. And tonight I just felt like I needed to be in the moment. I needed to be in this space with you. Daniel is saying, I'm about to face some very large fears, been bubbling up the last 9 months or so. Daniel, I support you in that. That bubbling is like the energy of things percolating to the surface. It's that precipice of getting ready to leap and face those fears and make those changes. I support you, brother, in that. And thank you. Yeah, it does take a lot of courage to be a performer. I think we're all performers in our own ways, even if we're not doing it professionally or on stage or singing or dancing, acting, whatever it might be. We're performing even when we're in our businesses, even when we're in our lives. And I don't mean performance as we're putting on an act. I mean like truly being ourselves. There's a performance aspect to that when we really stand up and share our gifts. Sorry, Adia, I know. Next time there might be a song. At some point there might be a song, guys. I'm stepping into that. You're so welcome, Euros, for sharing. My pleasure. Michelle, yes, I love this so much. Thank you. I love you, Michelle. You're somebody who's been putting yourself out there. I see you, girl. I support you. I love you. And keep sharing all of your self-love messages with the world. People need it. Daniel says, glad you showed up and glad for your example of stepping up with your message. Not giving a fuck is a powerful place to come from. Yeah, no fucks given, right? Absolutely. And the truth is, it's like, I think there's always a little bit of like, we care a little bit, a little bit, which is like that initial little bit of resistance. But the more that we keep putting ourselves out there, it's like those voices start to diminish about what other people think or how they're reacting or responding, especially when it's coming from love. It's coming from a place of genuine authenticity and care. So yeah, that care of like, I don't care what people are thinking. It's like, it's more like, yeah, I know my message is going to hit the right people. And for those people that don't jive with it, it's okay. Next, there's going to be another teacher for you. I might not be that one for you, and it's cool. Emma, feel the fear, but take inspired action anyway. Yes, girl, you got it. Stephanie says, it's so true. Heart. Yes, heart to you. Thank you for being such a powerful example for us all. You continue to inspire me every day. Thank you so much, Emma, for reflecting that back for me. It really means a lot to receive that and to hear that, because I do hope to lead by example. That's what really leadership is. It's leading by example. It's us going first, being the way showers for the rest of the world. So thank you for seeing that and recognizing that in me. Michelle says, yes, you have taught me that, Vanessa. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that, and I'll continue to support you in that. Stephanie says, I love that they're not your people. Yeah, I think so many artists and entrepreneurs, business owners try to appeal to everyone. We want everybody to like us. And that's the other thing. We don't put ourselves out there because deep down we're like people pleasers at heart, right? Like I'm a total former people pleaser. That's been a huge one, especially as a woman. I find so many women, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of us have been conditioned to be people pleasing. And then we're afraid of really setting healthy boundaries and speaking up and putting ourselves out there. in really requesting and expressing our needs and our desires and our gifts. So yeah, not everyone's going to be your people, and that's okay. They're not going to be your tribe, you know, but what you do want to get are the people who are in your tribe and who really do believe in what you have to offer and really see the value in it. That's who you want to speak to. That's who you want to cultivate relationships with, and trust that those people who are not your people, they're going to find the right teacher or mentor or coach or healer or guide or, you know, artist, you know, in their life that they're going to appeal to and are going to connect with. Michelle, I've taken huge leaps in my business because of you. Oh, I see you taking those leaps, girl. And I'm so glad that the support that we've, you know, the relationship we've been in as, you know, and our coaching relationship that's been impacting you that way. Thank you so much. It means the world to hear that. And I've seen you really step up. I mean, here's the thing. We can have clients, but, you know, and we can get clients, we can get customers in our business, but if we don't have people who actually take action, who actually implement, then it's like there's no use, right? It's like we can have people that listen to our music, but they don't really actually enjoy the music and get into the music. They don't enjoy our film. If they don't enjoy our services and what we have to offer them, what's the use, right? Like, we want people who are really going to appreciate what we have to offer the world. Jeffrey, my beloved, you are on fire. Thank you, baby. Boom. Gas, God and spirit. Yes, I love that's cute. Walk through the fear. Hey, CJ, thanks for joining. The hardest part is identifying those gifts and knowing that we're good enough. Yeah, you know, that's the part of the inner work piece. Emma, you know, the more that you discover who you are, the more that you go inward and really connect to yourself and get the proper support, as I know you are so, you know, open and willing to do. I know you personally, and you're amazing with that. The more that it's like the diamond being, you know, being revealed, right? It's like that diamond, the statue, I think, of Michelangelo. I'm sorry. This is me not really remembering precisely which artist this is, but there is that reference of when they're sculpting, I think it was Leonardo da Vinci, when he was sculpting, he had a big slab of rock, right? And then he ended up creating a masterpiece out of that. And the truth is, it's like that masterpiece comes out, the more that we work, we chisel away, we learn who we are. So I think that identifying those gifts and knowing that you're good enough is really the component of mindset. It's about your energy. It's about really up-leveling your consciousness and discovering more about who you are as a woman and what you're here to offer. And I know that you're on the path to that because you have a lot of amazing things to offer, Emma. You rock, girl, too, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Emma, for these beautiful comments. You're a goddess as well. Hold on, let's see here. We need to put ourselves out there and become awesome and unfuckwithable. Yeah, that's a big term right now, isn't it? So trending, you know, and we want to like really distinguish that not caring and not giving a fuck, pardon the French. I hope nobody gets offended by this, but I do swear. It's just, I just do. As they say on that meme, like, swearing clears the throat chakra. But, you know, the not caring is not this, it's like this healthy detachment of allowing people to have their experience of whatever it is that they're going to have their experience when they listen to you and when you share, you know. And it's like, sometimes I think people say they don't care, but deep down they really do, and they're very wounded around that. But this is like really being like, yeah, I'm totally neutral, whether you like it or not, whether this works for you or not. I'm just going to keep showing up and putting myself out there anyway, right? And then it feels like, oh yeah, I'm pretty, like, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter if people are, you know, on board with me or not. Aw, thank you, Jeff. Hi, thank you. Love and blessings to you, Sarah Maria. Nice to have you here. And Daniel says, blessings to you, my friends. So many women spend a lifetime putting themselves last. I agree. I'm working on supporting women to now put themselves first. It's time. Yes, I'm with you in that same boat. That's what my SAS program is all about. I hear you, brother. I hear you. It's a real epidemic. And I think for men and women, it's about really tending to our needs first and really nourishing ourselves from the inside out. And the more nourished and connected we become in here, in the vessel, the more we're able to offer out here and put ourselves out there, because we have more of a bandwidth. We have more of the ability to energetically and just with our messaging, with who we are, like, put it out there more and more into the world. Emma, love you. You're so welcome. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that about SAS. She says it's the best coaching program ever. Thank you. Thank you. So if you have any questions, guys, like, this is a great time. I mean, I'm here. I'm supporting you. There's so much more that I could say about this. You know, I'm giving you pretty broad and general teachings here around this. And since I'm here, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have personally about yourself and like, you know, the fear of putting yourself out there, anything like that. So, you know, if you want to share that, this would be the time. And I'm just going to make a really heartfelt invitation to those of you who are here. And if you're watching this video, sharing is caring, as I say. You know, again, more and more people need to have this message out into the world. So if I could encourage and invite you, if you feel compelled in your heart and soul to share this video with your friends, to tag somebody that you feel could really use the message that I've been sharing and I've been talking about in this video today, please tag them, please share. You know, please post this. You know, I just want these words, these teachings and transmissions to get out to more and more people in the world so that we can have an army of amazing light workers, teachers, artists, visionaries, bringing more of their gifts into the planet, because we need it. Like, this is a big time for us, as many of you know, and I've talked about many times in my videos and in my posts. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Oh, thank you, Melanie. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so welcome. I'm so happy to hear that my words resonate for you and with you. It's awesome to hear. Thank you. But I want to thank you, and I want to thank all of my artists, my coaches, my consultants, my entrepreneurs, my business owners who are watching, my visionaries, performers, and to all of you who may not even fall into that category, who put yourself out there. And you do it day in and day out in a small and big way. I just want to tell you that I see you, I got you, I get you, I understand the fear, and you're not alone in this process. And I just really want to acknowledge you for continuing to show up and relentlessly share yourself with the world. Keep leading by example, because each of you have influence, impact, and leadership in there. And when you do that, you become that leader that, you know, the world needs right now, because we don't really have a lot of strong leaders leading our world, leading our planet, leading our communities. So if that's you, keep doing it. And I just want to thank you for your work and your service in the world and for your gifts that you're sharing. And I promise you, I wholeheartedly promise that I will continue to show up for all of you and continue to put myself out there and in a big way. So thank you for being here. Thanks for tuning into the video. Please share this with your friends. If you have any questions or more comments, post below. I will get back to your comments very soon. I'm sending you all my love from San Diego, California. Have a wonderful evening, day, morning, wherever you are in the world. I will talk to you and be back very soon with another Facebook Live. Much love to you. Bye.